Good evening, and welcome. It's Leon Street back again. Today, or tonight even, this evening, is visionary marketing, and I've got another great topic. Just clear my throat, get going. And as always, I've got some real key steps for you guys to follow, things that you can actually implement, and some things, I guess, that you should be aware of when it comes to the specific topic of what I'm talking about today. So let me just get that on screen, guys, and share that with you. So today I'm talking about 3 keys to closing more high value sales, and this is for coaches and experts. And I guess, the lifeblood of any business is to create more sales. And if you're not able to close high value sales and you continually close, let's say, small value sales, low value sales, or medium, the chances are that you might be finding that business is a bit more difficult because you probably got less profit going into your products. And the reality is that when you close high value sales, it simply opens up the doors for more cash flow and just gives you that bit more space, especially when it comes to profitability with the services that you're offering. And that's what I want to talk about today. So let's get into the first steps of the live stream, and then I'm going to hit you with the 3 key steps that I want to cover. So as always, remember, we stream live on YouTube and also Facebook. So I would love for you to go over to YouTube and subscribe. So simply visit leonstreet.com/YouTube, or just go to YouTube and search for Leon Street with an E on the end of street. There's a silent E, and hit the subscribe button, and then click on the notification bell to be notified of all upcoming live streams, as well as all the great content when we upload that. And there's lots of great content on there, from marketing, sales, to growing your business mindset, all of that good stuff. So I guess let's start with this. Ever wondered how to sell high value services or programs? And unless you've done it, this might be daunting. Actually, this might be scary. And I know this because I'm talking selling anything from £3,000 or dollars upwards, and not everybody's done this. And when you're in a position where you're having to market out to people, it can seem daunting when you get the opportunity to sell. And a lot of people fold, and that's not a good thing, because if you fold, meaning that you don't follow through and you don't make the sale, it has an impact on you financially, and it has an impact on you mentally, because then you start to question whether or not you can do this, or whether you can pull it off, type of thing, whether you can do it consistently or actually continue it into the future and actually have a successful business. And when your sales confidence is low, what you can also do is look to outsource this as a service, and it can end up costing you a lot of money. And usually when you outsource it, it's very hard to find decent sales closers who understand your products and services in the way that you do, and actually carries your culture across into that sales process. So what's the answer? Well, perhaps you have done it before, but now you want to be able to do it consistently. And I guess that's what most people are looking for in their business, more consistency. So the ultimate goal, really is, how can I increase the quantity that you are selling per month? And if you're a culture expert, this is key. This is key to the growth of your business. And there are a few steps which I'm going to touch on that happen before sales. And some of the steps I'm going to talk about specifically in a moment, and they come from, as here it's got on the bookshelf. Obviously, if you've not got a copy, let me just move over. Already, my book that I wrote, so I published this back in 2018. So if you haven't got a copy, go and get yourself one. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon Prime, delivered to you the next day. And so it's called More Leads, More Clients. And in particular, if we start at page 131, I speak about sales. And so what I'm going to share with you today is in the book. Obviously, you're getting it live in the flesh from me, but go check it out if you haven't got a copy already. More Leads, More Clients. Do yourself a favor if you are a culture expert and plug yourself into that book. So let me jump forward then. So there are 3 keys that I talk about in the book, and the 3 keys are pre-call, during the call, and then the wrap-up phase. And that's what I want to cover with you guys today. And if you have done sales before, but they haven't been consistent, or let's say you charge per hour and you've never really sold, I guess, like a package or multiple sessions in a big block, where you are charging £3,000 upwards, the equivalent, I guess, in dollars, that would be about $4,000 upwards. Sales can be terrifying, as I said, and I just want to cover what you can do to, I guess, take the first steps in understanding how you can close high value sales, even if you've never done it before. You see, selling is a skill. It's something that you can learn and you can get better at. Everybody, yeah. It doesn't mean that, you know, if sales isn't your go-to skill in your business, that you have to do it continually. But if you want to get some momentum, and if you want to take your business to 10, 20, 30, 50,000 a month, then selling is part of the game. And it's something that you shouldn't outsource and just give away for the sake of avoiding selling. Selling is the opportunity to know that actually your message is right. People who you have as prospects, they have confidence and trust in what you are offering. And so it's actually the best place to be, right at the coal face, as they would say, right at, you know, in the trenches, and understanding what's going on with your business. And that's probably one of the most critical things that people who shy away from sales miss. So let's get into it. 3 keys. So key number 1 is pre-call. So pre-call is all about what happens before. And I'm going to give you a quick example. So you may be doing things like paid advertising, or you may be doing organic social media. So I use a process for clients on my Vortex Accelerator program, which focuses on no paid traffic, basically for coaches who are at the kind of £2,000 to £5,000 mark a month and looking to go up to 10 to 20. And I use a process called Confirm by Chat. And the Confirm by Chat is basically how you turn social media engagement into booked appointments. And I call this pre-call because this is really the opportunity that you have to get into the first steps of conversation. And it's commonly used with a lot of coaches, and it works really well. The difference is that when you get into a chat, a DM, private messages, that kind of stuff, you're actually in the messages, not just to have a jolly conversation, but you're in the messages to actually qualify the person as to whether or not you feel that they're a good fit for you. And this is where most people tend to go wrong, because let's say you publish a post, even if it is a paid advert, and you're spending or investing a small budget, and you've got people who've commented or they've responded to your call to action. And the call to action is either to comment below, get in touch, that type of, you know, call to action. Well, at that point, when a person comments below, it's your opportunity to follow up on that person. But what happens is, most people don't understand that this process is qualifying. And this is the first step for you to understand about your lead. So the lead, the person who's got in touch and requested either more information or to see a video or a PDF guide, you know, like a lead magnet, that type of thing. So when you're qualifying, what is it that you're actually qualifying against? Well, you're qualifying against understanding where they are, what they do, where they want to be, what challenges they're facing right now, and getting them to the point where you understand that this is the kind of person who would be open to the kind of program or the services that you offer. And that's why you have to have qualifying first of all. So in the book, what I spoke about earlier, let me just jump to page 131. Here we are. So 131 kicks off how to sell more products and services, but let me jump to the next page, 132. 132, what I mentioned is how to qualify people effectively. So in the chat, so in DMs, in the opportunity that I'm talking about that you have with social media organic marketing, your goal is to understand these 4 key areas. Does the prospect need what you're selling? Can the prospect use what you're selling? Can the person afford what you're selling? And does the person want the product? Now, other than step 4, question 4, those other 3 questions are going to be very relevant, especially in DMs in this day and age. There's a lot of successful coaches out there, and I've got a lot of clients as well who are generating 10,000 plus per month from organic social media. And this is why I'm saying that pre-call is all about traffic and positioning, where you qualify. And a lot of people miss this. It isn't your opportunity just to speak to people and, you know, do a bit of digging and feel awkward and not know where to take them. You've got to understand the process to take a person to the point where they do actually want to book in a call with you, which is going to lead me to key 1. So, I mean, key 2 even. But the key with key 1, or I guess the conclusion with key 1 is, you must have a way to qualify people before you actually speak to them on a phone call or a Zoom call, that type of stuff. This is how you prepare people and position them to actually be in a position to buy from you or close. So key 2 is what happens during the call. So let's say you've got a person where, you know, they've qualified, you've got them through the qualifying questions in chat, and they are now open. Well, at that point, you should have shared at least the beginnings or the opportunity that you're going to invite them to eventually. Yeah. Why is this? Well, when you get to this stage during the call, you're at the stage where people who qualify and the people who are looking at potentially working with you, they would have already seen what it is that you can offer them in relation to those qualifying questions they answered. So I use something called a super qualifier script, and the whole point of this is to work out who's a good fit and who's not. It's very simple. And so the point is that you then set up a second appointment with the right ones that fit or go straight to a full sale if you have the opportunity or the time during that step 1 call. Now, for me, during the call, this is a big step, and this is what a lot of people miss out. And so, as I said, you know, I'm covering steps that are taken out of the book, More Leads, More Clients. And so what you're looking for during the call, it's very simple. You start with, so what is it that made you decide to invest the time today to grow your business or improve your life, depending on what kind of culture expert you are when you're speaking to your prospects? And why do you think I'm the person to help you? Yeah. And those are the first steps. And as I said, it is on page 134, More Leads, More Clients, the book. Now, this is where a lot of people go wrong. Yeah, in closing high value sales, they don't dig into as why they, the person, you, are the ones that can help them and ask that obvious question. There are a few more questions that you have to go into, but that's the first step. You're looking at currently where they are in terms of what challenges they're facing, and you need to have a clear understanding of where they're going. And at that point, while you're discussing it on the call, the sales call, following a script, and I'm going to come on to script in a moment, you'll position yourself to actually close more sales. Now, I quite often come across a lot of people who say, scripts, are you crazy? Don't use scripts. You sound like a robot. You know, everybody's an individual, treat people individually. But here's what I say to that. If you want to create a business that's scalable, then you're going to follow a process. You're going to systemize a process. But what you do is humanize the exception. So obviously great salespeople, whilst they probably understand the structure of what the script gave them, they actually use their own personality, skills, and innovation, and I guess innovation to make sure that, you know, they add themselves into that sales call, but following the structure. And so, you know, if ever you've thought, you know, there's no way I could use a script whenever I do sales calls, I go straight into a strategy call or give people an actual coaching session, this is where you'll go wrong, guys. I see this time and time again when people say, you know what I do is I sell one session or I give a free session. And once they've had that, I blow their socks off, and then they want to buy, you know, my full coaching program or 6 sessions or 10 sessions. Look, basically, you're putting yourself at risk. Yeah. If you do this right, this key, as in the step 1 call, when you actually speak to the first person, should take you about 15 minutes, believe it or not. So you don't have to do a full coaching session. You just have to qualify. And people will respect you for it on the call. They won't feel like they've wasted their time or somehow you gazumped them, you know, you're kind of taking them for a ride. So that's key to qualifying people, where they are, where they want to be, and why you're the one that can help them. And remember, this is all based on them seeing your offer from step 1 or key 1. So key 3 then, what's key 3 all about? Key 3 is the wrap-up call. Yeah, so this is either where you book in a second call or you actually close on that step 1 call. You just simply transition and continue further along. So I have something called the secret sales script. It's what I use in my clients. And I use this to enroll new clients into my business. My clients use it to enroll new clients into their business with no pressure or awkwardness. It's one of the most amazing things that I've created. And even if you do a bad job, you know, you'll do it at around about 60% of the people that you speak to, you'll close and they'll become paying clients. So what's the advantage of the secret sales script? It's very simple, guys. When you're at the point where you've got a qualified prospect on the phone, at this point, you're simply digging into more of where they are, where they want to be, and what has held them back and their challenges. Those are the key things you've got to identify in a person. And the second part of this, which again, I do cover in the book, More Leads, More Clients, but you know, I have it in my programs as well. So if you want to accelerate your learning, obviously the best way is to get yourself a coach and join my program, the Vortex Accelerator. But anyway, as I digress, the point I'm getting to is that you've got to be prepared to understand what you need to do to then finally get a person to commit and then to pay you. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They don't get to the point of the conversation where they get a decision from the person to buy. And this comes from a mix of things. Remember, key one was all about pre-call. So what you do to qualify people after they have come to you via different traffic sources like organic, social media, or paid advertising, that type of stuff. Step two is once you've qualified the person, either they've booked in to speak to you, filled in a call booking form where you've qualified them through some questions, or you qualify them in chats, DMs, private messages. You've then got them on the call knowing that that's a qualified prospect. Yeah. And during the call, it's simply your job to make sure what answers they've given you is true and that they are a good fit. And step three is all about getting a decision from the person to buy from you, having seen your offer from key one. That's it. So if you put all of these three things together, this is how you end up with high value sales. See, the thing is, when it comes to selling high value, a lot of people, they put their own fears in the way of closing the sale. And, you know, some people don't even like closing the sale. I'm grabbing another book from my bookshelf as I speak, and I'm going to show you what the book is here. Let me just make sure I'm zoomed in. Yeah, there we are. See, I always go back to what I call the godfathers of sales, Zig Ziglar. Like, this is a classic book, and this is the book he called Secrets of Closing the Sale. I know there's a lot of coaches and experts who they just don't like that terminology. You know what? You're in a business, guys. You know, closing the sale is simply a figure of speech, getting a new client. And the biggest thing for me is that the more you can embody the confidence of what it is that you're selling, what you're selling, and I say that again, confidence of what you're selling, the more you'll close high value sales. Because when it comes to selling, I remember hearing this from a good friend of mine, which he learned from one of his mentors. And he described selling as when two people walk a path of mutual agreement. Yeah. So when you close the sale, all you're simply doing is walking the same path as your new clients where you both agree. Yeah. And they agree to be part of your program and pay you. So for me, the more that you can get into the position of making sales and selling high value, the better you get. The more times you do it, the better experience you have, the better skilled you become at closing. And if you've got any hang-ups about selling high value sales, you probably are only having hang-ups because you don't understand the value to price trade-off. I have an exercise called the value and price calculator that I run with all my clients in my Vortex Accelerator program. And so if you're stuck and you truly don't understand the value that you bring and you find it difficult to charge anything, you know, like £3,000, £4,000, £5,000, £10,000 or more for your coaching programs, then that is something that you need in your life. But anyway, those are the three keys, guys. So when you close more high value sales, what does it look like? Well, here's what it looks like. Here's some of my clients. They're able to take the leads that they generate and turn those into sales. Here's one example, one of my clients who turned it into £18,000 in sales, and that was back in February. Another client, $13,000 in 1 day. And another client here, £10,000 in 30 days. Here's another example of a client who generated £18,000 from filling her group coaching program. And that was during one of the previous lockdowns we had recently in the UK. Here's another client who generated $8,685 by selling 3 programs at just under £3,000 each, which is around about $4,000. Here's another client who started at £3,000 when he hit his first sale whilst on one of my programs and turned that into £100,000 in 4 months. Here's some more examples of clients closing 4,000, 4,500, 2.5. So that's what it looks like when you close high value sales, guys. You get results, and that's what it should be. So if you'd like to close more high value sales consistently, simply comment sales below this video, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, and I can send you more details about how I can help you to close more high value sales. And it's that simple, guys. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed today's content and it's given you some food for thought, then please do yourself a favor. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just head on over to leonstreet.com/YouTube. You'll be redirected to my YouTube channel where a pop-up should appear on YouTube where you can click subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of all my upcoming live streams and all uploads of new videos on marketing, sales, mindset, and growing your coaching and expert business. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been useful once again. I look forward to catching you all on the next live stream. I'll be live Sunday morning talking about mindset and what it takes to be a successful coach and expert running your business. So on that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, or morning. Take care. Bye-bye.